Right guys, I'm back with video number 2 of this series. The first video was about hangar number 1, and here we have hangar number 2 of my war robots. So just quickly show you hangar number 1, hangar 2 and hangar number 3. So the focus of this video is number 2 obviously. So this hangar here, I sort of chop and change when I get the chance. I don't really play with this hangar much. Maybe 1 in every 10 games I might use this hangar. So I have the Invader, I have the Raker, the Nightingale, the Wayland and the Mender. So let's just go back a step. So the Invader I had won in a I think it was a Halloween event. I can't remember now. Maybe it was after that. But it was through a crate drop, which is these special event crates. And the Riker I think I bought from the store. The Nightingale, it was I don't know if you remember, but in the last season they will go back to the crates again. They started off giving components for the Nightingale, as you can see. Well, that's a Nightingale there. But in the previous crate, in the previous special event, they were giving Nightingale components for these tokens. But they've stopped doing that. I think you just win the Nightingale. So the Nightingale, I basically got most of my components, I'd say 80% from the crate. And then I built the rest. Did I build the rest? I can't remember. Let's have a look. Did I build the rest? Oh, I've got 7,000 revolver. That's new. So we're getting a bit off topic here. I just want to see what components. Let's go back. Conversion. Let's see if I can build some Nightingale. Can I build a Nightingale? Okay, so I did build a Nightingale. I basically got all the components through the crates. So that's that. And I have my Wayland, which I bought. That was the first robot that I bought for £8. And I got that very early on. And the Mender, again, another robot that I bought. So I have bought a few robots. I try not to spend too much money on this game. I mean, I started playing with play to sort of win, and typically you sort of get sucked in wanting to spend money if you can, to sort of quickly get all the upgrades and stuff. But most of the players, I suppose, I mean, I got into this game through my nephew, who's quite young. I think he's 10 or 11, and he was playing this game one day and I saw him play and I thought, oh, that was quite interesting, because it reminded me of the old PC game called Mech Warrior, if anybody's heard about it. So that's what really it was a bit nostalgic watching him play with giant robots. So that's how I got into playing war robots. So my Invader. So this hangar. Let's just go back. This hangar here, I don't really play with often. I suppose everybody has a favourite hangar, and I suppose the more flexibility you have with the number of robots you have and the number of weapons you have, you can easily create hangars for certain situations or certain maps. I know some players do that, where they have a certain type of hangar for brawling, and then another sort of hangar for sniping, and then I think maybe an all-round. I don't know how people specifically do it, but I've seen various people online, and from when I'm playing, when I'm watching YouTube videos of people having very specific hangars for certain scenarios. So when I started off, most of my hangars were basically a mix of everything. So it still kind of is. So hangar number 1 is, you know, a mix of long and short range. Whereas this hangar here, I would say, is more of a brawler hangar because of the distance of the weapon. So starting with the Invader, again, I got this through a crate. drop, and I put shotguns on there. I've got the Gust and the Storms, and the great thing about the Invader is that it has a special ability where it suppresses the other players. So it jumps, which is really cool because it looks like a spider first of all. So this is a special version of the Invader. It's the Arachnid Invader, and this one here has more durability, a bit like the other special edition meta robots like the Hades and the Ares. They have increased durability. So as you can see, this robot is fairly slow. I think it's slower than that. So it says 43 kilometers now. I think because I've upgraded, but I think it starts off a lot lower. But it is still very slow, even though I've nearly. Let's go back to the bar. I can't really see. So upgrade. So I've nearly maxed out the speed for this. So it's not a very fast robot, but you can see it's got a lot of hit points. So this is a pretty good brawler robot. And I sometimes compare it with the Falcon that I have, which I have in. It's not in any of my hangars at the moment. Yeah, I sort of compare this robot to the Falcon because of the fact that it could take a lot of. I mean, if you watch other players play with this robot, you can see the amount of players attacking it and not causing much damage. Well, obviously they do cause damage, but you can see this robot can take a pounding. So it's a pretty good distraction, to be honest. So if you are playing with this robot, I would say probably try to distract the other team by jumping in with your Invader, or force the other team to focus their attention onto you. Because this robot suppresses players, they don't want this on the battlefield, so they're going to go for this robot and kill it straight away, or try to kill it straight away. So that'll give your teammates the opportunity to attack them while they suppress. So rather than so it's a bit difficult when you play online and you're not in a squad because you can't communicate with the other players. But if you do just play general games with random people, I'd say try not to go solo when you have the Invader, unless you have to. So try to stick with teammates and try to support your teammates with this robot. That's what I normally do. So I sort of hang back a bit. I see where my team's going, then I follow my team, and then if I see my team is in a tricky spot and I'm able to jump toward the enemies and press them, I will do that to give them some aid. And obviously the benefit of having shotguns here, which have been nerfed in terms of the fire rate, I believe, and the grouping, I can't remember now, but I know the fire rate has been reduced, so you have to wait for the weapon to reload before you can sort of fire. But still very powerful to be up close, really powerful. Suppress the robot, sort of like a Stinger tip, sort of like getting bitten by a spider with venom. Is sort of, you're sort of injecting venom into the robots. Well, it's suppression really, and you're kind of debilitating them a little bit. So again, I don't play with it much because it's a very slow robot. I like playing with faster robots, which is why I use Hangar 1 more than anything. Raker is probably the most fun out of all the spider robots because it's really fast and it's quite agile. You can strafe quite easily and quickly and fast left and right, and get in and out of cover quite rapidly. The great thing about this robot, again, it has a suppression ability. It fires like a sort of laser, a red laser, and it's got a good range of 600 meters, and you get 3 charges of this weapon, which is really cool. So I hang back, so as you can see I've got marquees on this, and I just got the Dragoon. I think I won that in the loot box. Was it a loot box or did I get it in components? I can't remember now. So before I had the Viper on it, which I've got there, but I think I prefer it now with the sort of, what type of weapon is this? What do they call it? In detail, this is a energy weapon. That's it. So I think I prefer this with the Dragoons and the Marquees. I think they complement the inbuilt weapon very well. So you fire a suppression. Well, what I do is I fire a suppression shot, and then hopefully I get them. And then I literally just give them the full clip of all the of all my weapons, and it does deal good damage. But the only trouble is that it hasn't got strong armor. So once you're in range with a enemy, or hopefully you're not in hopefully you're keeping your distance with this robot, but if you are in a position where you are being confronted by a brawler, you'll probably die quite quickly, because in most cases you're not going to be able to react quickly enough to fire the suppression and get away from the other robot. But generally, a very fun map. I love using this robot. It's a very fun robot. I love using this robot on the moon map because it's a pretty big map and you've got open spaces and lots of opportunity to sort of fire at other players, suppress them, give them all your firepower from your weapons, and then sort of get back into cover. This is sort of like a beacon or capture the flag map even. Right, next robot is my Nightingale. This is like a really fun robot to sort of heal players with. I've seen this in the Champion League a lot, and people normally stick the freeze weapons on them. So what they do is they fly about and they have the freeze rockets on them, and they obviously suppress you, keep suppressing you, and then before they sort of finally land, they do another suppression shot which gets you suppressed. They land really close to you within 300 meters, which is the range of the freeze weapons or the freeze rockets, and they're able to take you out quite quickly. And from what I've seen, I don't know whether it's got I don't really know if it's got strong armor or not. I don't think it has, but from what I've seen, it's probably because of the level 12 Champion League players. Because most of my hangars are level 7 or 8. When these players sort of land and they attack me, I feel like they've got strong armor, but in essence they've just got high level robots. So most of my robots, which are level 7, can't really counter level 12 or higher level robots in most cases. So with this robot, my playing style is I just sort of hang back, heal my team. You can see I've got the machine gun weapons on here, which do a lot of damage. And what I like about the machine gun weapons is that they go on for forever. It feels like you can just keep running the clip. It'll probably take how long does it take to 10-second reload? But I can't remember how the unload length is pretty high. So one thing I do love about machine gun weapons is that you can basically just constantly bombard the other players. And it's a bit of a psychological thing, because if you're constantly getting shot at, they just want to run away. And hopefully you're sort of playing with other players who are of similar level as you. And in which case I think machine gun weapons against similar level robots are very effective. So this robot, I literally just fly around, heal my team when I can, and suppress the enemy. I basically try to lock onto the target. So I use, if I go to the options up here, I use, where has it gone? Advanced. I use the lock target, which is manually choose a target to lock onto. I do this. I prefer manually locking onto the enemy, which lets me then just randomly hit and pick at the other players, or a multiple number of players, one by one, while I'm in the air with this robot, rather than having it automatically just pick one target and stay to that target when you've got a bunch of robots huddled up. So I like to use manual targeting for that purpose. One thing that I like doing with this robot is healing I like accompanying the Titans. It's actually quite cool to have to help your Titan friends out. So if you got your teammate who, let's say he's a kid and he's versing another kid, and they both got a similar amount of health points, I would, if I've got this robot, I would basically activate the ability, start flying, heal my my teammate with his Titan, and suppress the other Titan. And it works all the time, because with the kid, once the kid sort of activates its ability, which, let's find my kid. So when you sort of activate, oh, that's not my kid. When you activate the kid's second alpha weapon, and when you're in the Nightingale, when he's in his alpha mode, the kid has more resistance. But because you're using the Nightingale to suppress him, is pretty much made his move, sort of like a chess game. So he's made a move, he's expecting a certain outcome, but you've basically hindered his move by suppressing him. So that's like a tactical move to use on the Titans when you have a Nightingale, is try to sort of be a good team player, support your team, especially support your Titans if you can, heal them if you can, and suppress the other Titans, which is awesome. This robot is also very good at suppressing those annoying Mings with the laser weapons. But you have to be careful though, is because once you sort of once your ability runs out and you come to land, you have to get out of the line of fire from an Ming with laser weapons, otherwise you're gone in like 3-4 shots. So it's a really good robot to I'd say irritate the other team by suppressing them, which is awesome, and potentially causing your team to sort of have an advantage and win. So great fun robot. I haven't got a pilot in here. I haven't really bought any more pilots. I don't have enough gold to upgrade or promote my pilots at the moment, so I haven't bothered buying pilots for this robot. The Wayland was the original robot that I purchased, my first purchase, and on this robot I used to run the Thermite, so I've got 2 of them. I think the other one is, or I don't know where I've put that up, to be honest. So I had 2 Thermites on the Wayland, and it was a very good combination for the lower league. So playing in sort of silver, gold and expert, this was a really good robot with the Thermites, because I will literally heal my team players, and because of the short range of the 350 meters for the Thermites. So yes, I would normally hide behind a wall or something, and fire Thermites, and that would do some. So 2 of these Thermites, you can see one Thermite does 28k damage. So I used to do like, what was that, to 56, 57k damage, and if the Thermite rockets landed head on or dead center into the other robot, it would do some good damage. But as I've progressed, I really haven't been able to upgrade the Thermite. It's quite expensive. Well, it's not expensive, but I just haven't upgraded. I think at this point I was building more robots, so I neglected upgrading. But with my Wayland, I now prefer fighting. Well, I don't prefer. The reason why I've got the Avengers on here is because obviously they're higher levels, and I feel like they do more damage than the Thermites versus the current level of bots that I'm facing. So a majority of the robots that I'm playing against are of a higher level. So we're talking level 9, 10 plus, and normally with like level 12 or Mark II weapons that have been maxed out. And I'm pretty sure those guys are running all the premium modules. Like you can see, I've got the heavy armor kit on this guy. I won that in a loot box, but there's no way in how I would have actually bought a heavy armor kit, which is 5,000 gold, which is pretty insane. But I'm pretty sure people save the gold, and well, I suppose the higher level, higher league players are able to easily sort of harvest gold and silver when they play, when they're playing. So this robot very fun. Again, Avengers. I don't have any special abilities on this. Let's have a look. I've only got increased speed. He repairs himself, and the ability, the active module lasts longer. So I think I have Quantum Radar. Sorry, just go back. Yeah, Quantum Radar. So this robot I try to use to counter the O-John, and but I think because the ability doesn't last very long, yeah, it's only 6 seconds. I can't inflict enough damage when they fly over to kill me. But I suppose if I had shot grouping on this robot as an ability for the pilot, I'd be able to do more damage to incoming O-John. So the counter for this robot is a heavy brawler, and the flying O-Johns, just take it out like that. It's unbelievable. So I don't really play with this robot much in my. So hangar number 1 is my primary hangar, which is what I fight with. I wouldn't normally stick my Wayland into this hangar. Yeah, and then finally onto my Mender. I bought this robot again because I love healing robots, and originally I think I had a Viper on this guy. Did I have a Viper? Yeah, at some point I was basically running a Viper plus the Stings, which were doing quite well. But I am building at the moment, so I want this Mender to be a I want all his weapons to cause dot damage. So it's not like the Viper, which is like a continued like snowballs being shot at. This is like a burst of here we go, a burst of kinetic shells, and it has a corrosive element to it. So you fire, it hits the other robot, and it continues to cause some damage, a bit like the Viper. But the equivalent medium to this, to the equivalent medium weapon to the Sting, I believe is what I'm building is, where is it gone? The Wasp. Yeah, that's it. I'm building the Wasp. Yeah, so I think I'm halfway there. Let's go to my components. So yeah, sort of just past halfway. It'll probably take me, if I did calculation, what was on 60 plus 120, 360 components a day. Can't do the math at the moment. That's probably another 10 days to go for that. Less 10 times 360. Oh, I can't remember now. Yeah, so I'm basically building this to be a it's not a brawler robot, to be honest. But I mean, I don't know. I'll see how. I'll have to see how that robot, the Mender, is with the. Let's go back with the Wasp. But I do actually like it with the Ions. So the Ions, I used to have. I've got two of these. I used to have the Ions on my Nemesis, but with the Nemesis, I now use the pulsers, mainly because of the lockdown ability. Otherwise, I would have just stuck the Ions onto the Nemesis, which because the Ions do a lot of damage. This is a level 7 and it does a lot of damage. 8,700 damage at level 7, and it said he got a 5-sec reload plus a pretty long distance of 600 meters. So the Ion with a Sting, in my opinion, from what I found, is actually quite this is like a good combination from what I found. And he also obviously has a healing ability. I've also got the repair unit on there. It is a funny robot though, the way it sort of looks and runs. I mean, I might at some point move that to hangar number 1, but probably not. Yeah, so moving on to my Titan. So this Oming I actually saved up platinum for, because as previously I've said in my other video, it's not too difficult to save platinum in a month. So I think the calculation I made last time was about 800 to 900 platinum a month if you continue playing like 1,000 games a day kind of thing. And you just save, you can easily save about 900 platinum, I think, but I don't know if they've changed that now or if they've reduced it. Maybe they've sort of caught on to, you know, Pixonic have probably seen that people are easily able to save platinum and buy stuff. But having said that, platinum isn't, buying all the robots isn't cheap, if you think about it. I mean, sorry, buying the robot is cheap in comparison to the upgrades and the cost of the weapons. So with this Oming, I've just got the standard weapons on it, to be honest, and level 1, so Retaliators and the Vengeance, in my opinion, still does a lot of damage. This robot does a lot of damage, considering I've only got very low level weapons. But that being said, I'm probably playing robots that aren't like Mark II to some extent. When I fly with the Oming, and I'm doing a lot of damage, it's normally on lower level players. But then when I'm playing in a game where it's got Champion League players who have got like maxed out robots and weapons, this literally falls apart like a Lego. It's like a Lego toy. Throw it and it just flies and it just basically disintegrates. Sort of like that other flying robot. What was it called? I always forget. I always wanted it. It's that flying robot that people think. What did Manny say? Manny said, "You fly, you die." That one. It is the Okin. This is basically, in my eye, the Oming at a low level versus all the higher level robots. It's basically a mini Okin. But at some point I do want to build this robot because I did have it on so I started playing this game on Apple and then I installed it onto my PC on Steam. I didn't play it on the Android emulator. I installed the game on Steam, and this was one of the robots actually that I bought with gold. So I used to play this game a lot on PC, but then I stopped because I prefer to sort of just play this game when I'm bored or idle or in my bed kind of thing. So at some point I will build that because I do like that robot actually. Yeah, so going back to my Oming, yeah, so you know I've leveled it up quite a bit compared to my other Titans. So I think this is the most upgraded Titan that I have in terms of the robot itself, not the weapons. So yeah, Kid level 9, Arthur is level 10, and the Oming is level 20. I'm not sure if I'm gonna play with this robot. I do play with it, but as I said, my main hangar is hangar number 1, and at the moment I have more fun with the Arthur than I have with the Oming. That being said, I might actually experiment and move my SAR and Rupture over to the Oming and see what it's like with that. It might be quite. I might try it later on actually. Yeah, so that's it. That's hangar number 2. I really play with this hangar. You know, if I sort of want to mix it up a bit, I do play with this, but most of the time, it is pretty weak against the players I'm facing at the moment, which are normally lower league, Champion League players, but those players have higher level robot semi and higher level weapons, so it's not fun actually. So at the moment I'm in Master League again, so the games are a bit more bearable. But yeah, I hope you like the video. I will be talking about hangar number 3 in my next video. Subscribe, give it a thumbs up if you like. If not, just drop a comment. Maybe let me know if there's anything you want to sort of talk about, create a video on. Bear in mind, this is my own private hangar. I don't have a lot of finances to buy weapons and do demos and stuff, but I can do demonstrations of my robots with my weapons to sort of give you guys an idea of what it's like to play as a normal player. But yeah, okay, cool. Anyway, catch you later.